Welcome to the lesson of Microsoft Excel. Well, as this is categorized as the financial lessons of Microsoft Excel, so today we're going to be learning about PMT, or which is the payment for loan based or constants, are also termed as payments and the constant interest rate. Okay, so what does PMT mean and how does it calculate? So PMT is one of the financial functions which calculates the payment for a loan based on constant payments and constant interest rate. So using the Excel formula codes to find out the monthly loan payment, at the same time we will also show you how to use the PMT function in a formula. And another thing is that how is PMT calculated? So the requirements are equal PMT, then the rate, then the N per, then the PV. N per is the number of month, then the PV, which is the present value, then corrected, or the yearly payment, which is YP, or the rate divided by 12, which is the rate divided by 12, because in 1 year there are 12 months, so which is N per into 12, then PV, which is the present value, which is correct for monthly payments. Okay, so, and per, just when you're using just 1 year, just keep it one because of the yearly payments. And if you want to get the monthly payments, you have to multiply it by 12. And if you want to get the payments, which is the total one, which is you have to use present value, then you have to select the months, each and every of them, and also plus that by 1 and into by 12, and then have at the end, which is the power of number of months into 12 and minus 1. Well, I will show it to you one by one, so I'm just telling it to you because this is how you're gonna do it. And obviously you'll also learn how to make a complete sheet or a schedule of how you're gonna make a whole loan chart. Okay, and N per, which I told you is the number of payment periods, which is PMT equal amount paid per each period. So what you have to always remember that if it's yearly or if it's your monthly. Okay, so let's go to formulas first and see how it works. As this is a financial one, just select on the financial, go to formulas, and then click on financial, and then search for PMT. Go down and you will find PMT. Okay, right here. Okay, and now you can see what type of data are needed to get the result. So you can see here that this is the rate, number of month, then the PV, which is present value, future value, and then this the type. Okay, so let's say let's start off with a basic, which is I'm gonna show it to you just right now. So let's say I'm gonna select the rate, which is the rate I have over here. I'm using the old chart which I had, so you can also select just by using the same type of method. So I'm gonna select the rate first, which is gonna be 10%. Okay, so as this is the 10%, I'm gonna select A2. Then I'm gonna go to N per. So select the N per, which is the number of, okay, and you can also select the rate by dividing, okay, by dividing it by what type of month you want. Now if you don't apply anything, it will just be on 1 year, but if you divide it by 12, it's going to be number of the 12 months. Okay, let's say 12. Okay, and if you my bad, I'm gonna do is, yes, that is 12. So that is the rate right now for each month in a year. Now it's gonna be the number of months. Now let's say I have number of months should be, let's say 40 months. Okay, let's 40 months, stay with 40, and then I'm gonna do is PV, which I have right over here, which I should have over here, is PV, which is the present value. So the present value is, you're gonna select it, or you can also select it by using the loan amount. Okay, as I didn't select the loan, I don't have the loans right here, but if you select the loan, you will select the loan amount. And now I'm going to use PV, which is, I have it right over here, so I'm going to select this one, and then I'm going to go to FV, which I also have. Okay, I also had it right over there, but most of the time the FV, the end or the end balance is all zero, because most of the people finish all of it. So I'm gonna just do with zero. Okay, because that is the last balance, so I'm gonna just type in zero. And then what I'm gonna do next is just, if I want to select the type, you can also do it, but if you don't want it, just click on OK, and you will get the cash outflow of how much PMT was the result. Okay, So this is how you can find out the PMT, but now I'm going to help you make a chart by using the number of months, NPV, which is numbers are net per value, net present value, then the beginning balance, then the interest. Okay, I'm gonna go through them all one by one. I'm gonna show you how you can do that and make a chart or a book on your own with the loans. Okay, and you have to count the loans when you're making a chart, right? And you have to always keep in mind that you need principal plus interest. So I'm going to hold the end balance as principal plus interest, or what I'm going to do here is, let's say I'm going to sum my bad I'm going to do is take 1 to 10 to be the principal plus interest. So I'm going to take it over here, I'm going to type in principal plus interest. Okay, so that is how it's gonna work when I put in principal plus interest. So that is that is it. And now what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna use the loan. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is the beginning balance, and next what I'm gonna do is show you the interest. Okay, now as I have right here is I'm gonna copy this, the cash flow, to be the beginning balance, right? Because that was the first year which I had. So let's say if you have the first one, just hold that to be the beginning balance, because that is how it is, the beginning balance. Because okay, you get it, but just don't type p, like just don't type 0. Okay, because that is not the beginning balance. So I'm gonna type in v. Okay, my bad, control C, control V, shortcut keys. Now what I'm gonna find is the interest. To find the interest, we have another formula, which is IPMT. Okay, so we're gonna say is that, what is IPMT? Well, IPMT is a lot similar to your PMT, but IPMT is just that it returns the interest payment for a given period of an investment based on periodic constant payments and a constant interest rates. So it's just constant interest rates. Okay, so as I have right here, and I'm going to type in the formula, which is equal IPMT, which you're going to find right here. And next what you're going to do is find the rate. Okay, if you don't find it, just click on it and then just select on the rate. Okay, which I have right here. And now the selected rate should be should be something like, let's say we need the rate, right? So I'm gonna go right over here and I'm gonna lock the rate. Okay, which I have right over here. And I'm gonna, when I select on it, I'm gonna lock it, because if you don't lock it, this might like shift. Okay, so I prefer you press Control plus F so that you can like lock it or freeze it, and then divide it by 12 so that you get the monthly. Okay, so when you get the monthly, just put on a comma, and then we can add the per, which I have right here. So I'm going to type in 1. Okay, because I need 1 each of the values individually for every month. So now what I'm going to do is type or have another one, which is gonna be n per, which I had right here. Put on a comma again, and the n per which I had was 40, right? So I'm gonna type in 40, and then after I had 40, I'm gonna lock that into 40, and then press F4. My bad. Okay, let's just add 40 because we don't need that. Okay, when you select on a cell, I prefer you do the 40, but as I'm not selecting on it, so I'm gonna type in 40 as I don't have 40 right here. Okay, but if you select from here, so it's gonna be 40, and then you have to like, you have to lock it, and then I'm gonna select the PV, which I have right here. So when you're done with the PV, then you can also select the FV, which you have there. So I'm gonna use the FV, or future value, as the NPV. Okay, which I have right here. So I'm gonna put on a comma, and then I'm gonna select this one. And just keep in mind that whenever you're gonna select a cell, make sure to lock it, because if you don't, my bad, it's not gonna like give you let's say F4, or it's gonna like move from one place to another. So I'm gonna do is the comma, and then at the end what you have is the type. So when you click on type, you're gonna select which is 0, which is the end of the period. So the end of the period is like the end of the month, and the beginning of the period is the beginning of the month. So what type of profit you're gonna get. So we mostly prefer like beginning of the month, which is gonna be on default. Just select on it, and it will show you the interest of that much amount which you have. And now When you select on this, it will not happen because you have your cells locked in with F4 and those are anchored down. But if you like remove them, it's gonna like shift, okay, and it's gonna shift to data, okay. As I selected 40 here, which is the 40th cell and the 40th year, okay, 40th year. So I prefer you use more data often, which is the months, okay, which is by 1 2 3, or if you're gonna go by each row or column one by one, then you can use the fill header. But as I selected 40 from the previous one, so I'm going to select 40, okay. But if you want to select one, just select one, and then it will give you the outflow of the money or the loan schedule which you're going to create. So this is how you can create a loan schedule with the beginning balance, interest, and the principal interest. I hold it to be this one total, okay. So this is how you can like make um, a loan chart or a schedule. And also you can also find what you need is or use the PMT which I used previously, okay. So keep those in mind and make sure to practice all of those and keep those shortcut keys used to, or maybe even make one using what you have is the macro. So that is how you can do a PMT functions and building a complete loan schedule by using these two options, okay. So use them regularly, I suppose. And thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys understood everything.